It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary Hotline bling.
That can only mean one thing.
It's that time of the week. It's a Wednesday, and you know what it means. Culinary Hotline bling. Sing, sing, sing. But as always, of course, we welcome your questions on our line 021-430-9881. But today is not just any day, Angie and Zola. It is the 7th birthday of Expresso. So we're talking all things cake today, eh? Cigar le cake. All right? So call us with all your cake-related questions. Ladies, happy birthday to you too, okay?
Happy birthday, everybody.
Yeah, because you've been part of this incredible journey over the past 7 years, and I hope that you are equally as proud as we all are.
Very exciting.
All right, okay, so while we wait for all those calls, let's take the question here from Dibidi. Dibidi Erk van Baloy. Wow, okay, so this is what was said here. That how to bake a cake. I just need help with the recipe. So I guess this is how to bake a cake is a very generalized question, right? Can we narrow it down to something more specific?
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to teach you how to make a never-fail cake that you can actually make by remembering. Exactly. By remembering the following really simple things.
Yeah.
If you have eggs and you have butter and you have caster sugar, or any sugar actually, you could use regular granulated sugar, self-raising flour and a bit of vanilla or lemon or whatever flavoring, you can basically make a cake. So traditionally it's called a pound cake because all the ingredients equal a pound, but you don't have to remember that because so all you have to do is if you have 3 eggs or 4 eggs, weigh the eggs in their shell, and then the exact same amount of every other ingredient except the vanilla is how much you're going to use to make the cake. So for example, you weigh the eggs, they weigh 500 grams. So 500 grams of butter, 500 grams of sugar, 500 grams of self-raising flour.
And 500 grams of vanilla.
No, I said except the vanilla.
Okay, except the vanilla, sorry.
The vanilla. You mix those all together. Hey, presto, you've got a cake, and a really beautiful cake. So, like,
so soft.
It's a very stable cake, so it's great to make as a birthday cake. You can decorate it; it'll last really long in the cupboard or whatever, just covered in the cupboard.
Where are you supposed to store cake? Is it in the cupboard or in the fridge?
I store my cake in the cupboard on the day that I make it, or then after you cut it in the fridge.
Okay, all right. So as simple as that, and then
and it's a great for filling with anything because it's neutral. It's lovely and rich and buttery, so you can fill it with whipped cream and jam, you can do butter icing, you can do meringue, you can do chocolate, you can do whatever.
But you've just got to make sure that the butter is soft, so you can see that butter is soft.
It must be at room temperature,
It must be at room temperature, absolutely. And if the room is extra cold, then it's too cold.
Hey, guys, and also, don't make the mistake that I did when I had my first cookie baking mission very recently, using margarine instead of butter. I used margarine.
It's not the
disaster.
It's not the same.
Okay, so with cake it's different.
With cake, you really want the flavor of butter. And you can't beat the flavor of butter. But margarine will work as well. It'll give you a stable cake. Not so great for biscuits, like you discovered. But the flavor is far superior. Just make sure that you weigh the eggs in the shell, by the way.
Any fancy things when it comes to decorating quickly?
Well, not fancy things. We're talking easy things. So the easiest thing to decorate with is some icing sugar.
Icing sugar?
And a stencil. Which you can buy anywhere from a hardware store if you want.
And a little
I bought that one from a hardware store. A little fleur de lis.
Fleur de lis, if you will.
And then you just very carefully,
look at that.
This is the tricky bit, is getting it off there. And then you've got a pretty little pattern. Hey?
Wow.
Do that.
That's incredible. Okay. Can I just, I need to show everyone at home. The fleur de lis, the cookies, the beautiful, the chocolat.
Why are you talking about that though?
Because it's a chocolate cake with a fleur de lis. Okay. Listen, keep on calling us on 021-430-9881. We'll be back with the Culinary Hotline bling. Sing, sing, sing.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary Hotline bling. So in case you didn't know, it is our 7th birthday today. Can you believe it? 7 years ago today, for the very first time, Expresso said hello and good morning to the world. And of course, with a birthday must come some kind of cake to celebrate. Ladies, do you actually know where the tradition of celebrating a birthday with a cake comes from?
I have to say I don't.
I don't either. I don't.
Shall I give you knowledge from my ever knowledgeable brain? No. Thanks to our researchers, they found out that it was actually an ancient Greek tradition where they used to make round cakes to celebrate the goddess of the moon, Artemis, and that the candles they put on actually represented the glow of the moon, and once they were blown out, that smoke would represent their wishes that would float up to the skies to the gods on Mount Olympus.
Well, at least, thank goodness it's a great story and it's not some...
Not something boring.
something terrible.
All right, good.
Terrible.
Listen, Zola is going to share a very easy trick on how to decorate that cake that you made. Remember, with the very easy butter, flour, and hold on, sugar? Sugar that all weigh the same. So and your eggs. You got to weigh the eggs.
And the eggs.
Now that you've gotten all those fancy ingredients in and you've made your cake, how do you decorate it very easily? Well, follow Zola's steps.
Okay, so basically all you need is some food coloring.
Yes.
And then you can go and buy marshmallow fluff or marshmallow frosting. You can actually even do this with cream. Just don't split the cream. So whip it to, keep it really cold, whip it to just stiff peaks. You can do exactly the same thing. So all you do is basically take a disposable piping bag.
I knew
there you
you were
go.
gonna do this.
Then you got to find some food colors. So
Okay.
you can actually use the liquid ones that you can buy at the supermarket, or you could use gel color.
What
you
color
can
am I
pick
getting?
according to the theme of your birthday party or whatever you're having. I'm trying to cut the end off of this.
You go right
Okay, so
ahead
then
there.
you drip some color in there.
So you drip some color into the piping bag.
Into the actual piping bag, and then you're going to take your cream or your marshmallow fluff or whatever you're using to decorate.
Yo, you guys
could
finished all
even
the
do it
colour.
with buttercream if you wanted, and then you see how it forms sort of streaks.
Yeah, it's like that ice cream that
Yeah.
you used to buy from those trucks
then-
that go quee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
Exactly, and then you can use it to pipe onto your cake according to whatever theme that you're
look
having.
at you,
and look what it
Zola.
look at this. And then you can go wild because rainbow things are really in right now.
That's amazing.
So you can
Hold
do
on.
rainbow.
I need to also
Okay, do you?
bring in my colorful,
Absolutely,
vision.
and this is a great way for people who aren't really comfortable with piping intricate things. What you can do is sort of experiment, and then if it looks really rubbish,
get it down
just smooth it over, and then you still have a really cool
Did you say
looking.
if it looks really rubbish?
Yeah, I mean, if you do it and you don't like the way it looks, is what I mean. Then you can still sort of smooth it over, and then it still looks
all
pretty funky and like
Look at
really
that.
trendy. So this is a really simple way to decorate a birthday cake.
A little post-apocalyptic cake.
A
there.
little
Nice.
tip to get this icing in without getting it everywhere is to just fold it over. Fold the bag over.
Oh, and then you use that fold
And
over
then-
to protect your fingers.
Yes,
and then when you
your
go,
hand underneath.
it's
So
all good.
There you go.
Fantastic. All right.
Yeah.
Just help me just get it all the way down there. In the meantime, we'll keep our lines open on 0214309881. I'm going to get my piping on, and we'll be back again with the Culinary Hotline playing Ting, Ting, Ting.
There you go.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary Hotline bling. That can only mean one thing. Ting, ting, ting. Welcome back to the Culinary Hotline bling. Ting, ting, ting. Where you give us a call and give us all of your questions, your culinary conundrums. Today, particularly referring to cakes, because it is our Expresso birthday. Sandra is on the line joining us from Dubai. Good morning, Sandra.
Good morning, Kat. Happy 7th birthday.
Yay! Thank you so much, Sandra. Thank you so much. So what is your culinary conundrum this morning?
Kat, what I want to know is, I love baking and my two daughters, they simply love it. The only problem is, when I bake, my cake sometimes cracks. And I want to know, what am I doing wrong?
Okay, cracking cake. What is wrong? How do you even get a cracking? I've never seen a cracking cake before.
Lots of cakes
Yeah,
crack,
lots of cakes crack, and there's a pound cake actually traditionally must
Does
crack
crack,
for it to
yes.
be a pound cake.
pound cake.
So a crack isn't necessarily a bad thing unless you're wanting to decorate the cake. In which case it's an easy fix, sort of just level the top where it's cracked, and then turn it upside down, and then you have a flat sort of surface to work on, which is what
Yes.
we always do when we're decorating cakes.
We always do that with cakes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So usually your cake will crack if you've got too much raising agent. So what happens in the oven is you put it into the oven and all of a sudden it balloons.
Yes.
Before it's actually formed the structure, and then it cracks at the top because it's sort of
Okay.
rising from inside
Yes,
and then
yes.
forming that crack.
Okay.
Like we said, as long as the cake is cooked inside, don't worry too much about the crack.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course you could use the crack to your advantage as well, like you said, as a decorative means. Do you know what I mean? You know, get some, I don't know, orange zest to kind of come down the side. Looks like molten lava.
Absolutely, and also a crack
you want.
adds character, and I
There you
love
go.
cakes with character, so don't be scared of the
It looks
crack.
homemade then.
Hashtag cracked cakes have character, okay? But thank you so much. That was a great question. Let's quickly go to this question from Halima, who said, how much is a quarter pound of butter converted to grams? Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
in
Yeah.
advance.
Well, we don't really work in pounds because we have the metric system in this country,
Yes.
luckily for us. But if you do see a recipe with pounds, so 1 pound is 454 grams, which is quite a weird number. So we normally round it down to 450 grams to make life easier. And if you want to take a quarter of that, you just divide that by 4, which is, in my maths brain, about 115.
All right.
I think.
There we go.
130 between 112 and 113, depending on which number you're using.
There we go.
Fantastic stuff. We've got another caller on the line. Eurus from Kimberley, the big whole city. Morning.
Morning, Kataho. How are you? I'm fine. Happy 7th birthday.
Thank you. Hey. Are you enjoying the show this morning?
I'm fine. I was just saying, I'm Mrs. Gaborone from Kimberley.
Okay. All right.
I'm Mrs. Gaborone, Eurus Gaborone.
Uh-huh.
And today is my birthday, Katleho.
Oh, it's your birthday as well, Eurus. Happy birthday to you.
And my 40th anniversary today, too.
Wow. Guys, come on. Come on. That's just,
40 years, yeah. I was married on my birthday.
that was what an extra special way to enjoy the cake on that
Wonderful.
day. Thank you so much for
Wonderful.
sharing the day with us.
Happy
and
birthday, happy
congratulations to
anniversary.
you and the
Thank
family.
you, Katleho. But I wanted to tell you that I was first Miss Moraladi from Potchefstroom.
You were first Miss Moraladi from Potchefstroom.
Yeah, my maiden surname is Moraladi.
Hey, Batung, can I get
My uncle was, yes, Re Moraladi of Potchefstroom, Katla.
Ke a leboga mmarona o je tsatsi le monate tota ruri.
Thank you, Katli.
Oh, Katli.
Thank you.
That just okay. Listen, we'll be back with the Culinary Hotline playing. I'm just gonna like absorb these flashes. Katli.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary Hotline bling. All right, you're back again with us in the kitchen for the Culinary Hotline bling. Ching, ching, ching. On our birthday, by the way, taking all of your questions, some of them that came through social media. And this particular one, I actually like, because a lot of us watch these cooking shows and we're fascinated and we're always wondering, what makes a chef a great chef? This came from Tidiso. So they're asking, my question is, what makes a great chef? And also, how do you manage your time when making good food dishes? I'm assuming she means like fancy culinary delights, gourmet, you know, when you're doing that. What makes you a good chef?
I'm interested to know what Angie will say because you know she's been teaching chefs for a really long time.
Exactly.
So Angie, all yours.
I'm going to go dedication, hard work, and passion. If you don't love it, you might as well not bother.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
all right.
not. It's not one of those. It's one of those that you really got to love.
Yeah.
Because it is hard, long hours, on your feet all the time, unsociable hours as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you really have to love it.
And when it comes to managing those hours and the minutes when you're trying to make a very complex setup
it's
for a
all
meal.
about planning.
Yeah.
Because you know you can't do anything without planning. It's not just about food. It could apply to anything. If you're building a house, you need to plan it
Yeah,
properly.
exactly.
So just planning, and then your timing comes right.
Yeah. And as they call it in French, mise en place.
Mise en place.
Mise en place. Make sure you
And
got it all right.
I completely agree because without passion, I don't think you can do anything very well.
Exactly.
So if you love what you're doing and if you love food and you're passionate about it, you'll always find success in it.
Love it, ladies.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. A question here came from Franceline Davids on Facebook saying, what is bruismeal in English? What is bruismeal?
I wasn't 100% sure, so I quickly checked with my husband, who's Afrikaans,
Yes, yeah.
and he said it's self-raising flour.
Self-raising
So
flour.
there you go.
So if the recipe asks for bruismeal and you don't understand what it is, either buy an English recipe book or just trust what Angie said.
My husband is always right, so it must be true.
Like, you're reading it there. I guess it's not labeled that way in the shop, right?
No.
We've got another caller. I'm loving today's birthday culinary hotline playing. Llewellyn all the way from Bloem. Good morning, Llewellyn. Hello, Llewellyn.
Hello, yes.
How are you?
Fine yourself.
Lekker, man. Lekker. Thank you so much for calling in.
Katlego. All the best for your company and Expresso and Zola. I love you too. I've missed you a lot, eh?
Hi, Luele.
My question is how to make a muesli bar with chocolate and not that it doesn't become that hard that you can't chew it almost and crumbling at the top.
Okay.
Okay.
Lovely question, Llewellyn.
That
Thank
is
you.
a really lovely question. Actually, I'm going to start working on a proper recipe to do one on the show for you.
Yes, yes, yes.
But because, you know, chocolate sets with a snap, and he doesn't want that snap. He doesn't want it hard.
He wants a gooiness.
He wants gooiness. So a ganache would be fantastic. So if you're not going the healthy route, add some cream to the chocolate.
Okay.
If you are going the healthy route, coconut oil actually doesn't set solid.
That's true.
If you melt that with the chocolate,
Yeah.
it'll also sort of make it all, you know, supple
Yeah,
and softer. And then you can mix that into your muesli bar.
Blah, blah.
You can mix that into your muesli bar, and once you set it, it won't snap like chocolate traditionally does. It'll be a little bit more
Pliable.
supple and
Yeah,
pliable,
yeah.
like you want it to be. But yeah, we'll work on an actual recipe to share with you.
Excellent. Thank you very much, ladies. It's been an honor celebrating our 7th birthday with you in our culinary hotline. Bling, ting, ting, ting. Of course, if you have questions to ask, make sure that you leave them on our Facebook page. Of course, you can call us next week. And if you want any of the recipes, check them out on our expressoshow.com website. Culinary Hotline Bling! Ting, ting, ting! Will return.